Hi, everyone. It's Kelly from the Tutor Hustle for Teachers YouTube channel and podcast. Welcome to this very special episode where I'm going to be having a chat with June Link. And
Hi.
hi, June. And June is such an inspirational person. We met at the Soar to Wellness conference, and I got to chat with June, and she shared so many inspirational tips and really practical stuff to help teachers have a better quality of life and improve their work-life balance. So, June, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do and how you're helping teachers?
Yes, absolutely. I started my own version of a side hustle. It's called discoversuperiorjoy.com, where after finding all kinds of time-saving tricks and different strategies in my classroom, I realized that I had not only the time on my hands, but the desire to start sharing it with other teachers. So I'm out there sharing different ways you can save time in school, be an even more effective teacher than you ever thought possible, and have a really joyful personal life. So I'm doing things like conferences, podcasts like this with you, keynotes, and I also have resources online for teachers, all kinds of free stuff available out there to help teachers get started on their journey to have a thriving career and a joyful personal life. So thank you so much for having me on today. It's great to talk with you again, Kelly.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. And I'm going to link all of your resources in the description below so people
Great,
can
great.
access them because I think what you're doing is so fantastic and
Thank you.
it's so needed right now because teachers are just
Mhm.
in like crisis mode a lot of times. I'm on Facebook and this is where I first discovered you was on Facebook and I was like, that is so cool. Why are more people doing that? That's amazing. And I'm on like all the teacher groups and I'm seeing people starting to freak out about going back to school because where I know in the States a lot of people have already gone back. I'm in Canada and where I am we go back September 5th. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
now
I'm in the
as
UP of Michigan, so we're almost Canada, not quite. Sometimes, depending on
okay.
the map on news, sometimes that we don't even exist. But yeah, on Lake Superior, and we also start September 5th, so it's very, it's nice. I'm
Okay.
very fortunate for that. Yeah,
Yeah, so you're in the same we're in the same like wavelength and it's August
yeah,
16th as we're filming this. So people are a few weeks out from starting school and
yeah.
it's really heartbreaking to see some of the posts like people saying they're depressed, they're having anxiety, they're just like they don't know if they can do it this year and it's just like so sad. And
Yeah.
I'm always sharing your information because
Thank you.
you're a beacon of light to teachers who
Yeah.
really need this type of support right now. So thank you so much for all that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a big mission of mine was to be the most positive person in the room. I want to spread goodness. And, we hear a lot about teacher burnout. It's so hard, and we don't have the resources. We don't have this, we don't have that. We hear a lot of negativity, but there hasn't really been a lot of support in a way that is kind, gentle, graceful, forgiving, and a way that also brings more joy at the same time. So that was definitely a side of things that I wanted to take on. I wanted to feel genuine laughter with my kids. I wanted to feel a genuine sense of like, ooh, that'll be fun. And I wanted to feel more of that. And so once I found these different strategies to save time, they gave me the mental space and the energy to want to be a part of this side of teaching that we all got into it for. I want to engage with the kids and to connect with them in a genuine way is energy giving. It fills me with a desire to want to be there. And it also gives me that energy then for later in the day because I'm not exhausted from bell to bell. So that was something I really wanted to share with people. I wanted to just bring happiness, positivity, joy. Let's go outside, let's play, let's exercise, let's laugh with the kids. Where can we find these opportunities in our classes? Because that is really the key to having this explosion of learning that I never thought was going to be possible. Even though I'm working less hours, the kids are learning way more than they ever did. And I think it's all
Wow.
rooted in this happiness and this drive to have balance and joy in my life. And then it comes right into teaching too. So yeah, thank you.
Wow. That's pretty mind-blowing, isn't it? So like
Yeah.
you're working less hours,
Yeah.
but the kids are actually learning more and having a better experience at school.
Yep. Yep.
Wow. Like think about that for a second. That's
Yeah.
totally the opposite of what most
Yeah.
teachers think.
Yeah. And especially, when we first get started in teaching, even in college, I remember being told, oh, my supervising teacher told me, yeah, my husband, he just kind of pretends he's a bachelor during the school year. I'm thinking, what? Like, not that's funny. Funny thing to say, but no, he just kind of assumes that he'll be alone a lot, in the evenings. I remember thinking, well, I kind of like my husband or my fiance at that time. I didn't really want to not spend time with him. So that was a little disheartening. And, a coach that I worked with, she didn't see her kids, especially during her coaching seasons. She'd go from work to practice to planning for the next practice or off to, the next event or whatever it might be. And so we're kind of groomed into that thinking. And I want to undo a lot of that. I want to talk with teachers about the fact that, no, this is absolutely possible. And there are teachers out there. My best friend, in fact, she was a very big motivator for me. She talked about, I don't bring work home. She was one of the first people to ever tell me that in this world of education. Like, how's that possible? And so I got looking into it more and more. And then as I discovered it myself, I was just so excited to share it with other people, that you can have a super, super successful day and have enough energy to do what you want in the afternoons. Paddleboarding, hiking. Yeah, I'm pretty hyper. So I'm out doing stuff. I want to play. I want to go. And I really want to encourage others to do the same.
That's fantastic. I love that. I hope a lot of teachers hearing this are going to experience a mindset shift, because there's a lot of things to take from this, like being the most positive person in the room. That's that's a major mindset shift. Is in a lot of schools that I worked at were really negative, and people really were like, it was tough to be the most positive person in the room, because you're really surrounded by a lot of negativity. So that's if you could be that light of positivity, but it only serves you and your kids, right? If you can kind of like bounce that negativity off and just embrace the positivity within you, that was a great mindset shift for, I think, a lot of teachers, for sure. And then the whole idea of working less and doing more, that's like, these are pretty mind-blowing ideas, I think, for teachers, but I love them. I'm so happy
Thank
for
you.
sharing them with us.
Yeah.
It's
really
good.
Great.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you, June, about gratitude journals, because we were having this wonderful chat about gratitude journals at the Sorta Wellness Conference, and
This is my newest one.
That's beautiful. And this
Thank
is like
you. Yeah. Erin Condren. That's my go-to. She incredible. And this is my planner. So I've been jotting down our notes for today, and you can see it's got like all the little month tabs, and it's all pretty in the cover.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah. So this has the planner along with some notes pages as well. So this could be a twofer for people that want to do more planning than writing. But I have both. I have my thinking, my journaling spot, and then I've got my what I'm going to do today spot. So I've got two different things going on for mine.
I'll have to put a link to that in the description box too, where you get those beautiful journals.
Yeah. erincondren.com. It's wonderful.
Okay. Very nice. And this is like a real practical action taking step that you can do if you want to be the most positive person in the room, or even just have a little bit more positivity in your life. And if you want to work less and do more, I think a gratitude journal is like a true, we ask how do we do that? But this is a step toward the how, I think. And I loved what you were telling me about your approach to gratitude journals, because there's so many different ways you can do them, right? And I mean, I just write down my 5 things I'm grateful for each day. A lot of times it's more than 5, and that's like, I learned that from Oprah Winfrey like years and years and years ago. That's her strategy. But you had a more expanded version of that. Can you tell us about it?
I started using more of my journaling. I did a personal development program last summer that I really enjoyed. And one of the the foundations of it was daily, journal practices where she would give us prompts and things to write to. So it got me back into the habit again. I had always kind of enjoyed it, but I more turned to it when I was having a downtime in my life to work out what I was thinking. But then once I started using it more frequently during that program, it was daily. And now I'm about 4 to 5 days a week where I'll get into my journal. I use it for my time with prayer. And that is a big one. So that usually is how I'll start, is with an opportunity to either record a Bible message that a Bible verse that I found, or if I'm listening to a podcast, it'll spur me into what I'm going to kind of think on that day. And then I've got this, here we go back with the positivity thing again, right? This is a recurring theme. I have this positivity sandwich where it's thank you for, and it's something very specific in the last couple of days, and something that doesn't necessarily happen on an everyday basis, but it can, something that you maybe realize, whether it's even just my hummingbirds or an opportunity I had to ride my bike with my son, whatever it might be, something that's happened recently that brought me a lot of goodness and joy in my life. And then I move into a wish list, is kind of the next little part of the sandwich. So maybe this is like the condiments, where I'm moving into my wishes for everybody around me. This is my wish list. So, for family members that might be having a hard time, for students that need extra love and care. And I start putting together, and that helps me remember that there's a lot of things going on in this world that are bigger than what I feel are a big deal. The molehill into mountains concept, it helps take my mountains and make them much smaller, because I'm thinking beyond myself. And that's a huge part of this gratitude practice, is that it gets you out of your own head, because we can just hang out and snowball. I mean, I'll think about the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And this helps me end that tumble down the hill. So then after I do my wish list for others, then I move into my wish list for myself. So this is the bulk of our sandwich, right? This is where I'm going to start thinking about my goals for myself. Not like, I can't do this right, and I can't do that right. It's like, instead of thinking about doing it wrong, I started to put it out there. Joyce Meyer is a podcaster, and she does her show that I really enjoy, and she calls it confessions, writing things out that are yet to be true, but by writing it out as if it's already true. And this also is considered manifestation. And there's other different, approaches that, these personal development coaches talk about. And for me, it's all wrapped in prayer. And for a lot of other people, it has this concept of when you think on, and when you write on, and when you talk on things as if they are already true, it brings it into your world. So I write down things like, today I'm going to be patient with, I'm going to be patient with these students. I'm determined. I'm going to be active after work. I'm going to spend time outside after work. And so I start listing the things that I want to have happen as if they already have. And it's just lovely. And then back to the bottom of the sandwich, I'm right back to my thank yous, because through the process of journaling, I realized I have other things to be grateful for. So if I'm, I have my wish list when I'm thinking about others. Now I've realized down at the bottom, thank you for my health. Thank you for the opportunity, for the ability to ride my bike, and for other, other things that I can thank God for. So that is how I approach my journaling. But to give you an idea, I brought my journal out right here. You can even see, one of my journal days went from here to here. So it was short. It was very short. Another one that I had, the one right before it, hold on a moment, went from 1, 2, and then a half. So this one went on for a long time. This was one where I had the time. First of all, I woke up really early for a summer break morning. And so I had more time during my morning journaling than I usually do. But I needed it, and I didn't know I needed it till I started. And that momentum gets you going. And it's like, oh my gosh, at the end, you feel so aligned with who you want to be. So I really work hard to I avoid complaining. And that's hard to do. A lot of us want to write down our woes. And I used to do that. And now that I write down my manifestations or my confessions or my hopes for my future, I just feel so much more grounded in my day. And I feel so much more purposeful in my day and connected to my truer values. Yeah, it's not perfect. I still have a lot of moving on to do, but I have found this to be absolutely lovely. I've shared it with a few, teachers that I know. My mom has picked up this practice, and everybody that's tried this sandwich has really come out of it feeling like they've really been able to improve their lives more than before they use this practice. So it's fun to share.
Oh, nice. I love that sandwich idea. And I love the
Yeah.
analogy. And I love the fact that you mentioned in the beginning that you used to use your journal as kind of like a complaining or something to use when you're down. But I
Yeah.
love that you now
Like
use it.
if only my husband would just pick up his own laundry. that's not that's not what we're going for here. We're going for more of my husband had a long day, and now it's kind of helping me to stand in other people's shoes. Like, well, he worked from
Okay.
6 a.m. to 6 p.m. What is that really what I want from him, is to come home and spend a half hour on laundry? No, it's not. So it's like, please give my husband the opportunity to, maybe work less hours so that he has more freedom to take care of the things on his checklist. And checklist, if that's in the cards, my checklist too. But it was a way to flip it from and then just help me see the whole scenario a little bit better. And I have another
Yeah.
one too about we were the last time we were chatting after the conference, I was telling you about a parent who had emailed me that she was very upset that her son had a D in my class, very upset. And she even became a little bit personal in the way that she, was like kind of slamming me and my, my time at school, saying I wasn't working hard enough, or et cetera, et cetera. And it was really hurtful. We've probably all had some kind of a parent attack us in a way that really hurt us. And journaling, it took a little while, it took some time, but journaling helped me realize that she was simply an overwhelmed, scared mother at that moment. She was realizing that her child had problems that she wasn't going to be able to help him with. She realized, she was having other things going on in her personal life that I wasn't aware of until her son, because we had a great teacher student relationship. So he was kind of sharing, oh yeah, my mom, got this going on in her life, got a down payment on a house and this and that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this woman has so much going on right now. And she's realizing her son is struggling in school. So I'm her punching bag. And that's all I was at that moment. And 2 years later, 2 years, almost exactly 2 years later, she apologized to me at a meeting at school.
Wow. That's
And it was
amazing.
really impactful. Yeah, it was. And I just went right back to being, I wrote a good email. I was able, but journaling helped me to see it from a different perspective. And it helped me get over the hurt. It helped me get over the anger. It helped me get over the frustration. Where if I hadn't taken the time to journal and see it from her perspective, I probably just would have hated her. And that's not an approach that we want to take. We don't want to sit in that kind of unforgiveness, that can just eat at your soul. So so journaling really helped me through a tough time with that. So I really like that kid. I thought he was doing great. He was passing, which was a good thing. But she was just starting to realize that was hard. So yeah, okay. Wonderful lady. She just had a moment. Yeah.
That's a good example. It's a really good example of how the journaling helped you to change the whole energy of the situation, because if it could have gone really badly the other way if you would have like taken on her negative energy. So and then instead she looks like she took on the positive energy by apologizing later.
Yeah.
Not that we can expect everyone to apologize, but it didn't matter because you felt better. So that was the main thing, right?
Yeah. So I was able then to react and act in the future in love for who this, for who this child truly is, and for who she is as a person, not for that one moment that she had a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, because we all have those. And it helped me to continue to act in a way that showed the love for the real person behind the behavior. We have to do that with our students all the time, but it's easy when they're shorter than you.
Yeah.
Really short. So it's, it's easier when they're shorter than you, but when you got big people being mad, it's hard. So that, yeah, that helped me just kind of take a new perspective that I'm really grateful for, that I have this process in my life to help me overcome these things that can be really hard on us as teachers, as mothers, as friends. It can be really difficult at times. But journaling brings back the joy. It brings back the fun. It brings back who we know we are deep down, which is a caring, graceful, kind, forgiving soul. So
That's so true. Well, thank you
yeah,
so much for sharing this with us, June. I think this is
yeah,
like what I love about your message is that it is so positive and so inspiring, but you always have something like a takeaway that we can actually do to
yeah,
move toward that positive place. So I really love that we've had this conversation today. I'm definitely going to use those journal strategies. I think they're
yeah,
great. And I think that it's great people can walk away and try this. And you know what? Maybe you're going to have the best school year ever. I hope you do by just simple journal practice and
yeah,
doing the mindset shift that there's the potential to have happen, right? So I
yeah.
hope everyone has a wonderful, amazing, best school year ever. Trying this one simple step that June has shared with us. Thank you so much.
Yes,
I really
absolutely. I
appreciate it,
was
June.
excited to chat. This is great.
Yes, and thank you so much. And I will share all your information in the description box so that people can get more resources to help them have the best school year ever and get more resources to help them with work-life balance and get into that really positive space and to love teaching again. I hope that a lot of people can find the love in teaching again and and we can just turn it all around. That would be really nice. And
Yeah.
enjoy what this, because we're like I'm a teacher at heart. I love teaching and I don't want people to have to leave teaching or leave doing what they love to do. I hope that we can all find a way to just find that love and that joy again and have that
Yes.
wonderful school year. So thank you so much, June, for sharing
Yes.
your wisdom and inspiration with us. It's been such a
Yes.
pleasure. And
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on today. This has been great.
I can't wait to chat with you again.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.